What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Everyday Tim channel. My name is Tim, and today is September 5th. And you know what that means? It means that we are 25 days away from Inktober. So what does that mean? It means we got to get ready for Inktober. So what I was thinking is, a good way to get ready for Inktober is, getting ready to draw characters. Everybody likes to draw characters, and so that's kind of something that I want to concentrate on here today. So something that I think is really important for Inktober is being able to draw characters and being able to draw characters fully. And being able to draw characters fully, using the line of action and all that stuff takes some time to learn. And, we have 25 days, so we're going to try to get everything in that we can. But what I want to concentrate here on today are the facial features of the face, more specifically the eye. So what I'm going to do today is draw the eyes. Later we'll be eventually moving to full body environments, everything to get us fully ready for Inktober because we only have 25 days. But today we're going to do eyes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down, I'm going to draw a bunch of eyes, and the idea behind it is I want to go from where I'm at right now, which I don't think is very too great with the eyes, and I want to basically take an iterative approach. What that means is I draw an eye, I see what worked, what didn't work, move on to the next eye, see what worked, see what didn't work, move on to the next eye. And the things that worked I wanted to keep constant, things that don't work I want to change and try to improve on. And hopefully towards the end we start getting a good idea down to eyes. Obviously we're not going to get it perfect, but if I can draw, I'm going to say 25 eyes, then I think that's better. 25 eyes is 25 more eyes than I had drawn before. So I'm going to go draw some eyes and I'll be right back.
Don't worry, don't worry. Do you know me at all, at all? Don't worry. Do you know me at all? Do you know me at all? At all? Don't worry. Don't worry. At all.
And with that, we have 25 eyes drawn and out of the way. I left myself a ton of room on this huge piece of paper, thinking that I'd actually use it all, but these each took like 10 to 15 minutes each. Not, they didn't really start, 10 to 15 minutes each. I kind of want to go through them. So if you take number 2 here and compare it, I just want to grab it. And I'm going to compare it with number 25. I don't know why I started with 2. I guess I only did 24 eyes. But let's see. Comparing that to this one, comparing number 2 to number 25, I think there was a lot of progress there. going through them each individually. It was a lot of fun. I mean, each one, kind of the more I got into it, the, longer obviously it took because I wanted to add more details. And what really the fun part is are the pupils. Like, when I zoom in, it doesn't look that, are the pupils. Those are what I had the most fun doing. And, with the pupils, they... they're not just, line. I'll show you. They're not just, something as simple as... It's not as simple as taking a circle and just going circle, circle, circle and, filling in the lines there. So the things I learned the most from this are, one, take your time. And, that's especially true. You can see here in the number 2 here. Number 2, I just kind of scribble. All right, we got an eye, boys, and it was just like, oh, wow, nice eye. When, more towards this 25, yeah, this one took me about 15-ish minutes, but, this one took me like 5. And so it's like you can definitely see between the two. Go ahead and zoom in. You can see the difference here. It's you can tell that this one put more time than this one did. The second one is learn from mistakes. So with each one, I kind of sat there and I said, all right, I made kind of a T-chart in my head. What went well and what did not go well. And it's like, well, this one I like the pupils, but this one I, didn't do the eyelashes. Didn't do the eyelashes, And, well, I can't spell. And it's just something as simple as that. It's like, all right, well, next time I want to do what I did right with the pupil, but I want to fix the eyelashes or, the shadows or, everything, because everything's bad. But, that's kind of what I, the biggest thing I took away was just learn from your mistakes and don't be afraid to fail. And that's kind of a 2A. Don't be afraid to fail. I failed a couple times, 25 times to be exact. But, see, my first side eye was this one, number 18. I was so not tired, but I kept doing front eyes. And I was like, maybe I should try it from a different angle. And so the second I did, I was like, oh, whoa, this is different. And, by, more of this one, it's not, anywhere near par with that one. Not that this one's good or anything, but it's better comparatively. These two are different. And so that's really, don't be afraid to fail and learn from your mistakes, and keep going, fail forward. Let's see. The third thing I learned, just kind of going into the detail of the eye, you start with the ball because the eye, it's a sphere. It is. So, you start with that and you want to get the little, I don't know what it's called, but this guy right in there, the, whatever, I don't know what it's called, but the little triangle that has the ball in it, get that, and then find where the other side of the lid is, and you want to draw, and, just kind of want to get the eye, this top lid overlaps the bottom lid, and not only that, there's this thin little line here that's, basically the inside of your eyelid. That's where all your eyelashes stuff come out. And then, the pupil is a circle. The little hole here is a circle. And then, granted I'm doing this really fast and rushed, but, you want to work towards the middle. And then, so you'll see me, you saw me do this a lot where I'm just kind of, filling it in, as I go. And so the pupil is not just these lines though, I kind of start with it as, as the basic shape, and then, you start getting some of those, shapes in there, the crystals, I call them crystals. They're kind of like little diamonds in the eye. And, and then the thing that helped me the absolute most, the shadow for the eyelid, the top where it kind of folds in, that's right there, and the bottom where it kind of folds into the eye. And the thing that helped me the absolute most was going in with white. If you just do that, and you get a highlight in there, but you also kind of like it to, change up the how it looks here in the pupil. Just doing that, we've gone from, an all black eyeball here to adding a little bit of variation in, the eye, and you just kind of switch it back and forth from black to white. Granted, on pen, it's probably not going to be that simple, not that easy to go from, your Micron pen here to your Jelly Roller, which I don't have mine out right now, but, go from black to white, but that, digitally, that's what helped me the most was, just basically those steps. In the eyebrow, just kind of drawing the individual hairs, that's kind of the same with the eyelashes as well. The eyelashes, each one of these are individual hairs, and they overlap, they're messy, and then the corners, they kind of get some dark in there. The bottom, it kind of darkens, and the top it kind of darkens, and the outer pupil's a little bit darker. But this is kind of the things that I learned from doing this study here. Yes, I do 27 eyes, but I kind of said, as I'm looking at the eye, why does the eye look like this? Why does the eye, shaped like this? Why is there a shadow here? And you really just have to look at that. So those are the 3 things that I would absolutely take away from. Take your time, and, I guess a subcategory is pay attention, study. Everything is deliberate here. You're not just doodling to doodle, kind of, because that's doodle time. You are drawing to learn. Right now I drew so I can learn the eye a little bit better. Next day we'll do noses, next day we'll do mouth. Today we did eyes. And so, everything's kind of based around, getting this eye figured out. And so why does the eye behave like this? Why does it, why are the colors in the eye different? Why are there such different shades? Why doesn't this pupil look like a pupil? Why doesn't this eye, highlight look like a highlight? Why can't you see the eyelashes? Those are all questions that I was asking myself throughout. And, it's just one of those things where it took me a little bit to find out, but I you just kind of have to figure out and ask those questions, yourself, because, there are so many times where I've watched videos, how to draw an eye, and they'll say, well, start with a circle, and you start with the little triangle thing, you overlap it in the eye, and you do this, and then you do this, and all of a sudden I'm lost. And I'll tell you what, I have learned way more from me just figuring out than I have watching videos, because not only are you, putting the tread on the tires by drawing, but you're figuring it out yourself, and not everybody draws in the same way. So this is kind of why I'm a huge advocate for studies like this, because at the start, that is how I was drawing eyes, right here, number 2. That is how I drew my eyes, and this is how I finished. Come on, zoom over here at 25. And it's not that big of a difference, it's not that great, but I can consistently do something that looks like 16, it looks like 17, it looks like 25, it looks like 19. Before, everything looked like 2. And just as a comparison, if everything's looking like 25 rather than 2, you made progress. So that's kind of that's my little soapbox for the day. I think tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and try to tackle noses, and do something very similar to this. This is something I really wanted to try to target, is how to get better. And that's kind of what this is me trying to show you how I'm getting better. So if you enjoyed this, absolutely, I guess like and subscribe like all the YouTubers say. But honestly, if you enjoyed this and if it helped you, more importantly than liking and subscribing, I want you to go out and do this. I want you to get these 25 eyes, do 25 eyes, and tell me, how did you improve? And if you did improve, even if on a scale of 1 to 10, at the beginning of the day you were at a 1. This is where you're at today. You do 25 drawings, you're at like 1.5, and you move from there to there. That's still progress, and just going out and doing it. That's the way to do it. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much for tuning in.